Hello, welcome to another first appearance rating video, and let's start out with a character adaptation from long ago science fiction. John Carter's of Mars. I saw the movie that came out, I think 3 years ago. I'm one of the few that saw the movie. It's a decent movie. It did not do very well, thus we likely will not see any more sequel, which is sad. I wish the acceptance of the movie was better. I had my own theory on why it didn't do very well. A lot of people blame Disney for poor marketing, but I think it's a little bit more than poor marketing. Sure, poor marketing may have something, a contribution part to why the movie didn't do as well as hope, but there are a few other factors. Perhaps one of these days I will go into its own video. But for this book, John Carter's of Mars was created by Edgar Rice Burroughs, the famed writer, back in something like right after World War II, I think 1917, something like that. I just remember it's right after World War One. My bad, World War One. It's that long ago, and I think it's neat that in this book as well as in the movie, the Martian, the Green Martian, have four arms, and the design of them are very similar to what was drawn up and imagined way back in the 20s and 30s when comic strip of these was drawn. So it's neat that many things didn't change. And in this book, it did a quick intro of the character where he was in a cavalry cowboy fighting American Indians, and then he stumbled into a cave, and in that cave there's a transport event happened that brought him into Mars, and at Mars, with the weight and density differences, he has some superpower. I wouldn't call it superpower, but he can leap tall buildings like Superman in Mars because of the weight and density differences. And so there are some extra skills to his skill set. He's neat. If you are in the sword fighting, swashbuckling kind of fan, you will enjoy John Carter. This book is. I used to have the full run. And I saw most of it, but a few issues. And one reason why I like it because it has awesome art by Gil Kane, as you can see. Look at that. Beautiful splash page. That's classic Gil Kane physique. Right there. And Dave Cockrum. They in fact, one of the issue for those that want to know more about this series, in one of the issue there's a first Frank Miller pencil work for Marvel. I actually show the artwork of that issue, some of the artwork of that issue in my Frank Miller Artist Spotlight, if you want to check that out. But at least for number one, you had this beautiful, and Gil Kane did a lot of the covers for this series also. So you get beautiful art. I like it. I give the character a 3 out of 5. And then as far as the story, also a 3 out of 5. So a 6 out of 10. Nothing earth-shattering, nothing to wow the mind, but decent. If I bought this off the rack, I would probably keep buying it as long as this artist team, as long as this creative team stay together, because I'm definitely more into it because of the artist, than the character. The character is okay, like I said, I'm never a big fan of those swashbuckling kind of character. Thus, I'm not, a humongous Conan fan, even though I love Barry Windsor Smith art. So that's 6 out of 10. Put that aside. Back in 81, when I first discovered comic books, this book at the local library in Albany, New York was one of the favorite book that I visit many times. I go to that library at least once a week, and in my free time, and I don't even bother, borrow the book home. I just take the book off the shelf and then read through it and then leave. But this, I read this book quite often, and then I also borrowed the How to Draw the Marvel Way. That I did borrow home to try to study. But from this book is my first exposure to Daredevil. Okay, it's a fantastic book. Just a few weeks ago, there was an auction that showed the original covers of this. Went for crazy prices, and it's neat because the original sketch had a different, did not have Scarlet Witch. It just have Nick Fury more prominent here, and then John Buscema redrawn it and kind of downsize Nick Fury and insert Scarlet Witch. But like the Silver Surfer, this book also have a reprint, and this was the first time I saw. So that's one of the many reasons why this is such an awesome book. I bought this a few years back for myself, but it's just an awesome book, and it gave me the first exposure to the Silver Surfer. That blew my mind. And then the next favorite in here, believe it or not, is not the X-Men. The X-Men 1 issue is also in this book, but it was Daredevil. Daredevil was my second favorite in this book, and I like everything about the origin of Daredevil. I think it's neat. I think it's I was very drawn to its simplicity and not powerful kind of superhero. I enjoyed the fact that he's a normal man, and that make a big differences in why I like the character. And so here's a part of Daredevil. The only thing that I was not too thrilled about was the yellow and red outfit. I'm so glad that they introduced the all red outfit in issue 7, but I like everything about his origin and his skill set, and everything about this issue. The art is fantastic. I absolutely enjoy the art by Bill Everett, and whoever it is that I read somewhere long ago that this book had a lot of problems as far as getting published because Bill Everett was really slow, and I think Ditko did fill in on a few pages here and there, and I think you can see a little bit of Ditko here and there. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm just too lazy to research further on this matter. But I would have given him a 5 out of 5 if we saw the all red outfit from the very start. Okay, but because we had this yellow color look, he only got a 4.5 out of 5 as far as name and skill set and power and everything. So 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, that's pretty decent, really good. And then as far as story, 5 out of 5. What else is there to not like about the origin of Daredevil? Fantastic. So a 9.5, 9.5 out of 10. Pretty high mark. Pretty high mark for Daredevil. Years ago, I used to have a lot of Silver Age keys. Over the years I saw there's one Silver Age key that one Marvel Silver Age key that I have never owned, not even a low grade copy or anything. Never even owned any copy. That's a Fantastic Four, #1. But as far as Hulk 1, Amazing Fantasy 15, X-Men, Journey to Mystery, Tale of Suspense 39, you name it. I had those. Over the years I got rid of them, and the one book that I kept because it was cheap for the most part, it was not high value, and I like Daredevil a lot, so I kept. And this is well before the TV show and other things, so here's my copy that I still have. Okay, it's an 8.0, as you can see. Thankfully I have the reprint in the 5-side book that I don't need to crack it out to enjoy it. But so that's my 8.0 Daredevil #1. In many ways I'm kind of glad that I never sold it and kept it, but someday it will go. And to end this video with another Daredevil related, the Jester. By the time that you've seen this video, most likely you have seen my underutilized video with the Jester. I absolutely enjoyed the Jester. I absolutely enjoyed the origin here. I like this book a lot. I gave him a 4 out of 5 as far as the name, the skill set, the look. Pretty good. I wish they did a lot more with the Jester, build him up more to be more crazy, more villainous, if that's such a word. Sometimes I invent words. But I think Marvel missed the boat with this character because there's so much more they could have done. And as far as story, I like it too. I give it a 4 out of 5. The story, this one, it is in my opinion, one of the better Daredevil Silver Age character intro, for sure. One of my favorite. So this book got an 8 out of 10. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.